Oh, they moved it. Usually it's Thursday to Sunday, but I guess the cruise is Friday to Monday.
Who's never heard of Lifestyle Getaway before? Or who's never been on one? For those who have not heard about or know anything about Lifestyle Getaway, can you give like a brief summary? See, Alexis, not her. First time. Nice.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you're gonna have an amazing time. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing else than being with a bunch of your friends, having fun, you know?
Lena too.
Um, I was gonna say, I was gonna say like, you know, sometimes you actually see your community, like you see your thrivers more than like people that may live in the same city or a couple cities away from you, like your friends, just because there's so many opportunities to be able to see each other and we just enjoy each other's companies. So 3 times a year, the company does lifestyle getaways, and then once a year is conference, right? So everyone get ready for conference. I know it's next year, it's in April, but it's something that you do not want to miss. The energy is unreal, right? And if this is your first lifestyle getaway, enjoy yourself, have fun, make lots of memories, and you're able to meet everyone. Some people maybe you haven't met yet, you've just seen each other online. This is where you get to meet like your online bestie, right, in person. Yes, what Verge says, levels boils us, get content of everything, flights, transportation, room tour, ship tour, tour of the people you meet, get to know your leaders, don't be shy, learn from people in person. There is nothing more amazing than meeting someone in person and just really having that heart to heart conversation with them, you know? It's where everyone gets to bond. So,
Yeah, 100%. I have a clip of my very first lifestyle getaway ever. And it was when I was on a boat, on a cruise ship actually. And I was doing like for a breaking, I was doing flares on a cruise ship. Have you seen this?
no, I actually haven't seen that.
I'll show you guys right now. This was my very first lifestyle getaway ever, and it wasn't
But
with
that
this
was another
company.
company, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see this. You see this? Oh my. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
No.
But yeah, we went on yeah, basically it's like it was a qualification, just like in Thrive, right?
Yeah.
And based on performance, etc., you get to qualify to go. And this one was our Carnival cruise. And so I think there was 100 of us that actually went on this cruise, and it was amazing. Like there's no words to describe it really. Like the everything that you guys are saying, getting to know your leaders, talking to people in person, connecting with them, having experiences, creating memories, all that happened. Like literally. And those bonds, like those relationships, the connections through those experiences really solidified a lot of long-term relationships actually. So even to this day, I still have those relationships simply because of that one experience, right? And it's obviously like compounded experiences over time, but when you experience something that no one else experiences, such as going on a cruise, right, with your friends and family and people that you're building a business with, there's bonds that are created, that would have never been created if it wasn't for
Mhm.
those experiences.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, it's amazing. Trisha, Trisha says, I just watched a clip I have of you doing windmills in the sand at Puerto Rico, Puerto
No.
Vallarta. Oh, that's funny. All right. You want to get started, babe?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. Bird says, get to know the company leaders too, not just our team. You might be inspired by a complete stranger. We
Very
are
true.
we are not selfish here. Sideline teams are so nice and amazing too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone in Thrive, from what I noticed, is the community and culture here is completely different.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
thing that you've always mentioned because I didn't have any experience before in direct sales or network marketing. Like this is my first go around. And what he noticed was like he's like, everyone's nice. Like even like, people that are sidelines, right? Because they have, they don't really have anything to do with you and you don't fall into their compensation plan, right? So he was just like, everyone's still nice. And I'm like, yeah, like I don't know anything else. Like everyone's friendly here. It's a community. Like it doesn't matter if so and so, like if you're not on so and so's team, like they're still nice to you. And if you ask them a question, they're still more than happy to like give you an answer or tell you like based on their experience, you know? And
Mhm.
usually I think in this type of industry or in other types of industries, when you're in sales, people get very competitive, right? But over here, it's more about collaboration over competition because the thing is, we're all unique individuals and we all have something to offer, and it's probably something different, right?
Yeah.
And so there's more of an abundance mindset here than like a scarcity mindset, which really sets the difference, I guess, between Thrive and any other companies, right? I don't
Mhm.
have experience with other companies, so I don't know how it is, but this is the feedback that I get from him and from other people that have been a part of other companies, and the difference in the cultures, right? Like,
Mhm.
what culture would you rather be a part of, or what community would you rather be a part of? Like, somewhere that's positive, where everyone's kind, everyone's like really giving, you know, or like a culture where people are kind of like always saying negative things, right? Like, what energy do you want to surround yourself around? Like, what feels better?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure everyone wants to feel positive energy. But yeah, it's always actually been about collaboration community. It's just that most people are just not aware enough of it yet, right? Or they weren't educated, or they just haven't had the opportunity to be a part of it. So yeah, Thrive, when you go into Thrive and you meet others, it's a different energy. You can tell like almost right off the bat. Um, okay, let's get started. So on today's episode, we're gonna talk about, well, you wanted to share about Lifestyle Getaway, which is great. If you have never been to a Lifestyle Getaway, like that should be like a milestone, okay? A milestone that you go and put on your vision board. You put in your intentions, whatever that is for you, right? Lifestyle Getaway is an experience that is unforgettable. And the people that you meet there, right? Like how everyone's saying, the connections that you make, the experiences that you create, the memories, all that stuff. Like that is, it not only serves as a tool for you to look back on and reflect on, but it's part of your life, right? Like when it comes can you when it comes to like building businesses and also like creating your dream life, right? What does that look like for you? Right? What does that look like for you? And if you wanted to go on vacations, if you wanted to, just do a staycation, if you wanted to do and create different memories, being able to like have this type of experience with people that are going in the same direction as you, it really is unforgettable. And so I can't really describe it. All I can say is that you got to get yourself there, right? And it's something that you won't regret because again, all the experiences that would have been made if you were there, it's just there's so many possibilities that open up because your perspective starts to open up when you experience something different. Okay, so being able to get there is huge. It's huge, and not only like the lifestyle getaways, but Thrive-Palooza. Again, like everyone should at least have that milestone to attend Thrive-Palooza, to get yourself to Thrive-Palooza, because that is a destination event, right? And one of the metrics actually for success in your business is how many people can you get to Thrive-Palooza with you, right? How many people on your team is getting to Thrive-Palooza? Because the things that they experience there, it's unforgettable, and it opens up possibility. On another call we did, right, on a previous episode, we talked about like what the benefits are for that. So, um, I forgot which episode it is, but with that said, being able to just open your mind, okay, like turn the dream machine back on, being able to just surpass limitations, right, any limiting beliefs that you may or may not have, and the subconscious programming that you already have, breaking through that, right, rewiring your brain, changing it up, being able to see a different perspective. That right there all happens when you go to these type of events, okay, and you surround yourself with people who are just winning and they have that mindset and they're going after it. So that's it, that's all I got for that.
I would say a sample of it is a Thrive and Mingle, right? Like a thrive and mingle, people, you know, there's a date and everyone comes together, everyone shares their stories. You get to share your story if you want to, you can host it if you like to, and it really brings the community together, right? So I would say that thrive and mingles are at least a start to being able to be surrounded around the community. It's simple. Most of the time it's close by, and I feel like that's just kind of a small sample of a lifestyle getaway. A lifestyle getaway is like on another level too, because you're actually like going on vacation with your friends and stuff, and it's a really, really cool thing. But yeah, so if you haven't been also to a Thrive and Mingle, or you also haven't hosted one, like it is a really great sample of what to expect from the community and how to stay engaged with your business and with your community, and to really remember like why you started and why you decide to keep going.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so on another episode that we talked about was the BOD EOD framework, right? This is something that I wanted to cover today. Uh, and this framework, I learned about this framework in 2015. And so ever since 2015, I've been using it. And the reason why it's because of the benefits. Not only, and I'll share with you the benefits, but I want to give the framework first. Literally today, if you've never heard about it before, BOD stands for beginning of day and EOD stands for end of day. Okay. And this is a framework that you can use to hold yourself accountable, hold your team accountable, and also get things done. And one of the biggest things that I've discovered through my experience with building businesses and building teams is whenever there's a lack of communication, whenever there's a miscommunication, whenever there's communication that is just not going through the right way, that's a big thing that becomes a bottleneck and also becomes a constraint in team communication and team building and growing a business. And not only that, but it also can destroy like everything that you've done, all the hard work and effort that you've put in. And that's, especially when it comes to relying on a team dynamic. Okay. So it's really important that you establish a framework of communication that works really well with you and your team. But I want to just share the framework real quick so that we have a better understanding of the concept. And then if you wanted to implement this, you can literally do it starting today, right? This right now is the beginning of the day. So you can implement it right as we do it. But I want everyone to imagine, I want you just to imagine yourself as the CEO, okay? You are the CEO of your life. But when it comes to building your business and creating the best life that you can ever live for yourself, whatever that may be, you have to put that CEO hat on, okay? And what you're doing for the BOD, the beginning of day, is you're writing out a list of things that your team and employees, okay? The people that you are working with, okay? Your employees, the people that are on your team helping you create this dream machine, this dream vision of your or the life that you want. You list out all the things that you would need them to do, okay? That it's a need that you need them to do for the BOD, the beginning of day, okay? So, for example, like it's like IPAs. Like that's checklist number one.
IPA stands for income producing activities.
Yeah.
Just in case. Just
Okay.
in case you guys didn't know, IPA is income producing activity, right? If you're in a business for yourself or what have you, or like, you work for someone, typically you would focus on, typically the front salespeople are focused on IPAs, right? Like income producing activities, because you have to generate revenue for a business, right?
Yeah, exactly. So IPAs, whatever those are, reports, things that have not been done or that need to be, updated, etc., continued, whatever that is, okay? So create a list for the people, like for your employees, create a list for those people who need to do that stuff for that day. And then at the end of the day, right, those employees will be submitting an EOD, an end of day report to you. Okay. And then you as the CEO is to review what happened, what actually happened, right? So BOD is everything that needs to get done that day. And then EOD is what actually happened that day, right? What did your employee do that day? Okay. Now here's a trick. This is where like this concept works. You were the CEO when you created the BOD. And in the morning when you wake up, you're actually that employee. Okay. You're the employee, you're the team, you're the member that is going to take care of all that, the BOD. And then because you're now doing the BOD, at the end of the day, you're the employee that is reporting back. You're the employee that is doing the end of day report now for the CEO. And now at night, you switch back to that CEO hat and you're reviewing, okay, what did I do that day? All right, what did I actually do that day? So this is actually accountability for yourself. And not only that, but when it comes to like every single day moving the needle forward, right? There's a good book called The Atomic Habits. In that book, they talk about how instead of focusing on goals, on your goals they are looking to accomplish, you want to focus on the steps that it takes to get to those goals. And this ties directly to the BOD EOD framework because BOD, the beginning of day, is just steps that you need to take in order to eventually reach a goal that you need to hit, right? So that's where this entire framework comes into play. It's because when you're able to see step by step every single thing that needs to get done in order to accomplish this one goal that you have, it makes it so much simpler because now you have a lot more clarity with what needs to get done, right? And then not only that, if you're someone who has so much on their plate, right? Well, what is actually needed? What is the most necessary steps that you actually need to take, right? Because there are things that may just be noise, and then there are things that actually get the job done, actually move the needle forward. So this is something that's really important when it comes to you achieving your goals and actually like hitting them, right? I don't know if this makes sense, right? Does it make sense?
I think it makes sense in um a volunteer army and also in like a job, right? But I think that sometimes it's a little bit different when you're working with people from a job that can get fired versus people that are just volunteering, right? Like it's an option for them to be able to do this.
So I use this framework actually in a multi-million-dollar business, right? And we had to use this every day. There was like 75 people in the company, and we started this in 2015 and grew from there into multiple eight figures per per month and more. Okay.
Yeah, like a
So
job.
yeah, it's like this was even before remote work was like a thing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like versus the volunteer army, right? Sometimes it works great for businesses, but when you start to come across a volunteer army, like it's an option, right? Like it's an option for people to be there. It's an option for people to show up, right? Because sometimes they don't have that risk.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
so
could get fired in like a job, but like when it comes to like this is an option, this is a side hustle, this is like something that they want to volunteer their time to. What I'm saying is the framework works if people are there with it as well, right? Like if their hearts are in it and their minds are in it, and this is something that they really want to do, then they're gonna do it, right?
everything works. It's just about applying it. That's
It,
it.
yeah, well, it's about applying it and then also like, the
Hmm.
person, right? Do they want to do it? Are they going to do it, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Everything works. It's about applying. There's a good blog article actually by Blair Warren who wrote the one sentence persuasion. This guy is like a copywriting genius. And one of the blog posts that he actually wrote, I want to actually bring it up and share. I'll read it because this applies directly to like what we're talking about basically.
I like how you always have reference points.
It's because I study a lot. I research a lot. I'm a good student.
You always need somebody to be your researcher. Um, what was it? Was it a book? Oh no, yeah, like it was the book. It was the book that we were talking about last week. It was a book that we were talking about last week. Usually there's people that take action and there's usually people that like they're the ones that come up with the resources, right? In order for someone else to be able to effectively execute and make a decision very quickly. And so that book talked about that, right? So sometimes you have to be both, but typically a person's strength will fall in one category, right? So getting to know yourself and being self-aware of like where you fit best. Usually helps.
Yeah, it's like this. Like if when it comes to the BOD thing, I did this for since 2015. I did it with multiple, people, obviously with my coworkers, etc. Even like my boss, right, did it. And like if a nine-figure entrepreneur, all right, making over $100 million can do this, and they implemented this. Like, why not you, right?
It works.
Yeah, it works.
It does work.
Yeah,
I did that when I was in the operations of the mortgage banking company I owned. And what you would do every day is you would talk to everyone like, hey, like what's going on? Like what's happening? But how would you do it in a volunteer army though? Like
yeah.
how would you do it when it's like, sometimes people don't have skin in the game, right? And so how does that like how would you do it?
So it's just about leadership. It's about accountability, right? And what I was gonna say is that when it comes to the BOD EOD framework, it's about accountability for yourself. That's why I said earlier, is that this is just a tool that you can use to really hone in on the step-by-step things that you need to get done in order to actually move the needle forward to achieve your goal, right? And when you achieve that goal, what happens? It unlocks a different goal. It unlocks the next one, and so on and so forth. If you're able to see clearly, with clarity, being able to see exactly the road that you need to do, like the road that you need to drive on, walk on, etc., the path that you need to take to reach the destination that you truly want and truly desire, then how easy would it be to get there, right? How simple would it be to get there? Would there be any constraints, roadblocks, obstacles, challenges, things that you need to learn, etc.? Or would your learning curve be cut short, right? It would, because now you know exactly how it gets done, right? So that's just one way to look at BOD EOD, right? And not only that, when it comes to accountability, right? For leaders, whether it's a volunteer army, whether it's a company, whatever it is for you, okay? Even if it's not in business, right? What do I always say? You are the leader of your own ship. Everything rises and falls in leadership, right? If you as the leader cannot lead yourself through a simple exercise as BOD EOD, right? Then how can you expect anyone else to follow in your footsteps? If it's a volunteer army without skin in the game, if you're the leader and you're not, doing exactly what you gotta do, then why are you expecting other people to follow in your footsteps, right? It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's like the beauty of leadership.
I
And
think what Jackie said was really important. You're
can you
like
read
the
it?
one person that I thought of when it came to working with the volunteer army. You know what I mean? And so what she said was she was just browsing social and saw some people keep their links up with Thrive, even though they're doing other things because it's free. But if they had to pay to be active, it might be a different story. The difference is staying connected. It's not about numbers, it's about alignment. Yes. And you know what's funny is like, I look through socials too, and I always see people's links up, but yet they're not involved in like the communities anymore. They're not a part of it, right? But it's free. So they're like, hey, you know what? Like if someone will purchase, like I'm just gonna leave it there. But it's so true. Like if you don't have skin in the game, it takes a different level of like willpower to be able to like complete certain tasks, right? So
Mhm.
it's how bad do you want it, right? But I love the system you're talking about, BOD, EOD, because there's a lot of frameworks and a lot of things that you've taught me over the years. And I'm like, oh, I've always done that, but I didn't know there was like a framework to it. I just knew like it just makes sense, right? Like as an operations person, sometimes I'm always like, okay, what kind of systems, right? And but yes, it's the connection. Like if you don't have a connection with people, especially a volunteer army, like they're just they might not stick around, but also if they want to do it, like they're going to do it, right? it's
Yeah.
it's within alignment. Like are they aligned? Is this something that they really want to do or something that they're just saying that they want to do but they're not sure, right? And yes, Angela said it's about leadership. Jim Rohn will help you own it. John Maxwell will help you grow and maintain it. Let your learning lead to action, and the bigger influence is doing the do. People don't listen to what you say, they follow what you do.
Yeah,
Yes. And
100%.
this framework is just like when you're working with kids, right? Like if you're working with kids or you have kids and you're like, hey, like, don't throw your laundry on the floor, but you throw laundry on the floor, they're going to be like, well, you told me not to, but you do it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to do it. Right. And that's the one thing that I remember as a child. I used to always watch adults say something and then do something different. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Right. But Jackie said, yes, exactly what Crystal said. Me too, Crystal. We just do. Didn't know it was a framework that works. Awareness and entrepreneurship. Yes, right? Like if this is your business and you need to keep the lights on and a roof over your head, like you're no matter what, you're gonna care, right? And that level of caring will actually get you to do the right actions in order to make sure that you maintain, right?
Mhm.
Um, Sean came in was like, where's the system? Yes, right? And so the thing is, yeah, like sometimes like you need that system, right? Like as an entrepreneur, sometimes you don't you have systems and you don't have systems because your mind, it automatically works like a system, but you're like, you actually have to like lay it out and show people like, oh, this is what I do and this is why I do it. And if this is your goal, like here's how to, right? Like
Mhm.
step by step. But when it becomes something that's so easy to you, sometimes you forget how to show people the way because for you it's like the back of your hand, but other people, they need to be guided, right? They need to be led, they need to be trained. um, and Angela says every business you need systems to scale. That's how we are able to travel and live.
Mhm.
Jackie says he's like, yeah, that's a system, own it. Now let's fix the system.
Yeah.
Yes, he put it in the practical, tangible how-tos, right? Sometimes you're so deep in something, you it's hard for you to step out, right? So there's working in the business and then working on the business. And sometimes when you're so deep in working in the business, there's things that you can't see, right? And that's where he kind of came in and was like seeing the overall picture because he was able to remove himself and find the missing pieces, and then like put it together in a way that people would understand.
Yeah. That's one of the things I do best at.
Yes.
So
What you need is a system in your daily method of operations. Yes.
100%.
Something you
Yeah.
could just depend on and is like the back of your hand. Like if on days you can't think about it, you just look, okay, what am I supposed to do? One, two, three, right? It's just, it becomes instinctual after a while, but sometimes you just need to see, like, okay, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically like every single business, it doesn't need you. Like that's the truth. But there's a difference when it comes to this specific industry
Yeah.
because you have to be in phase one at all times,
Yeah.
right? But every business, the concept that I have is because when it comes to systems, is you should be able to take anyone from anywhere and plug them into the system and it'll still work, right? Simply because you've worked on the business, not in it. And so you've removed all the constraints and all the friction points. And you're able to just have everyone focus on IPAs, right? The DMO through the IPA, and that's it. It unlocks everything, creates massive momentum. Everyone thriving has a DMO with themselves. Refine your DMO. Exactly. And the DMO, like use BOD, EOD, if it's going to help. Angela says what you need is a system in your DMO, daily method of operations. She has a DMO on vacation too, and it keeps her momentum going. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it should never break.
And most of the time it's income producing activities, right? You're just it's become so instinctual that after a while you might not even need to look at what you need to do because you already know. Like you've been doing it every single day for like the last year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right?
Yeah, but again, it's how big do you want to go, Like what ambition do you have, right? What's the vision for yourself? Right. And the beauty of this too is that like there's no cap, right? So in every business, there's essentially no cap. It's limited to your imagination, right? And that's the truth. Because look at how many like different things are happening out there in the world. Like there's so much creativity and innovation happening. Like when it comes to your business and when it comes to what you're pursuing in your life, it's limited to you. That's it. And I truly believe that. You have a DMO with your kids. Yes. Yeah, everything. Like structure at least, if you want to. Structure everything, systemize everything. And be able to actually like have the entire map laid out so that way there's no more constraints and you're able to like really run the way you want to run and focus on the things you want to do and live the life that you want to live. It's super simple. It's super simple, but it's about implementation and it's about having an open mind, dropping the guards, dropping the egos, being able to be a real student and learn and apply. And then from there, see what happens and experiment a lot, pivot along the way, being able to like, not be rigid, but also flexible at the same time. Right.
Yeah, it also depends on accountability, right? Like as an entrepreneur, if you're in business like for yourself, like there's no one that's going to fire you, right? Like you are your own boss. So you have to be accountable to the goals that you set and benchmarks, right? Like, are you making progress? If you said this was going to happen at this point in time, if it didn't happen, you're going to have to go back and be like, why didn't this happen? I thought like I had it all correct. Maybe I don't have it correct, right? So, especially if you're in business for yourself, like this community, this business, like this is on your own time, this is on your own dime, right? Like whatever you choose to do with your time and how you choose to work it, it's up to you, right? It's options, it's freedom. But also with those options, with those freedoms, with being an entrepreneur, like if you don't get certain things done and you don't make a certain hit a certain goal, like how are you going to pay your bills, right? Or how are you going to take that extra income that you wanted to earn to be able to spend on your kids or to be able to like get you out of debt, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of accountability and benchmarks, right? And then being like, okay, I didn't hit a certain goal within this time. Like, what did I not do? What do I need to do? And again, like what you said, becoming a student and real and dropping the ego and going like, okay, I didn't hit a goal, like that's okay. What didn't I do correctly and what do I need to do, right? Taking a lot of accountability and being like, what did I do? What did I not do, right? Not what did your team do? What did your team not do, right? Because like ultimately, if this is what you want, like it's up to you, right? Like if it's what is that quote? If it's meant to be, it's up to me.
If it's to be, it's up to me.
So you get to treat it like this is your own thing, you know? But yeah,
Yeah, and then also like again, it's the accountability, right? So BOD, EOD. Like at the end of the day, you're the CEO wearing that CEO hat. List out all the things that the employee needs to get done for BOD. And then, so this is a running checklist every single day. And then from there, because this is taking it to accountability to the next level for yourself, right? And when you implement this for yourself and it works, implement it with your team, see what happens. But it's subjective, obviously, based on your business model and based on like your operations. Um, but with that said, have that BOD listed out, and then like what she was saying, right? Holding yourself accountable and being able to see what worked, what didn't work, because you're gonna actually do it and then see what happens throughout the day. And then from there, when you're creating the EOD report, right, the end of day report, you're using that report as data because it's like you're reflecting now on the day of what has happened, right? You're seeing like, okay, what has happened now? Like, did this work? Did this not work? What do I need to do next? Right? It's an ongoing process. And then as the CEO reading the EOD report, now you're like, all right, like this is what I gotta get done. So let me see what's next for the BOD. Right? It's like that. It's literally this is like what the part of stoicism is actually doing that is actually reflecting on your day, right? Reflecting every single day on what you have done, and then being able to reflect and refine and just work through certain thoughts and things that like you saw in the day. And then how do you improve yourself the next day, right? So that is a practice. There's a lot.
check-ins. Yeah. So Alex is saying quarterly check-ins on inventory and operations. Tiffany was saying our checklist at BOD. Someone said something about, I think this is really, I have the task that I knock off every day. That's how I stay in the game. Angela said that. And she said, take breaks and slow down to move correctly. Don't slow down too much. You need to get up once it's aligned. You got to know when to shift yourself. Mindset will keep you in the game. This is why self development is a key value. Knowledge, but move in spirit and apply what you learn. Yes. And you don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have
100%.
to know all the things. It's actually better if you don't, right? Like if you don't know all the things or you just kind of go like you're constantly moving and then adjusting and pivoting as you move. But if you don't ever move and you're just like gathering a bunch of knowledge, you're going to have analysis paralysis, right? So there's this saying, and I learned this saying from being a part of this business, that ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, right? Like you have to keep moving. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to run into walls, you're not always going to be perfect, but that's okay, right? Like make a decision and move forward with it. And if it was a bad decision, you can readjust and be like, okay, what did I do incorrectly? Okay, like now I'm just going to pivot, right? But it's also having, like, again, what you were saying, like having your ego down, and ego insecurities is ego too, right? Like you have to put it down and just be like, like this is my goal and this is what I want to go after. And it doesn't matter what people say or how I feel or whatever. it's like you have a laser-like focus and a laser-like vision on what your goal is. So everything in between, all the feelings, all the emotions, all like whatever people say, like it doesn't matter because it's you and your goal, right? And if that's not going to help you get closer to your goal, then it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about like being able to not be distracted by the noise, external noise, and other people's opinions. Muffin.
That thing Jackie like put this on a reel. Twin says so good. um Laser like focus, right? What's the most important thing to you? And this is why we always express, like we always not express, but like we're always asking, like, what's your why? You know, like why do you do things? Like why do you want this so bad, right? Because if you want it that bad and you have laser like focus, and sometimes if it's not about you, right? It makes it easier, right? A lot of us is like, I want this for my kids. And so you think about your
Mhm.
kids, you think about how much you love your kids, you think about what you really want to be able to do with them. And then it's like, if someone says anything or you make a mistake, you're like, it doesn't matter because, like, that's what I want, right? Like, it's like the love for something or for someone that really drives us.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So it just, all the resources and tools, like it's tools that we've already used, right? And definitely like depending on how you apply it, it just depends on, how you want to live it, right? But again, like this thing right here, the BOD EOD framework, it's for accountability. It's stepping up your accountability.
yeah.
One thing I've learned through my experience in entrepreneurship so far is that accountability it moves mountains. Accountability like really refines you a lot faster than you just doing it without an accountability system. And so BOD EOD is part of that accountability system. It's just like I want to actually like read the blog because I want to share with you guys this is my favorite blog post, by the way. Um I don't know why, but I just ever since I've seen it, like it's the best one.
Is it that short too?
Yes, it's super
Couple
short.
paragraphs?
Yeah, I printed it out and everything. And it's just like I don't know. Ever since I saw this blog post, this was years ago that I saw it. But I've always stuck with it's always stuck with me. I don't know why. It's just always stuck with me, but I think it's because it's just so applicable to, to our lives and to business. And before we do that, Andrea says, and not be distracted by what your past habits and mindset was. Yes. Focus on what and how you want to be now. Exactly. That's what held me back when I first started in this business. Had to humble real quick. And yes, like Shen said, I had to hold my ass accountable. That's good. That's really good. And one thing that you said is so true, is don't look at the what was, right? Like don't stay in the this is how it was. Like bring yourself to the present because that's where the power is at. The power is in the present moment, not in the past.
Or the future sometimes.
Yeah, but like you can use the past for reflections, right? And you can simulate the future for, how you want to maneuver. But the power is in the present moment where if you're focused here in the now and you're present, you can really do some damage and really like make some progress because you have the power because you're not distracted by anything and everything, right? Because you're here, okay? Your entire being is here.
Yeah. Like, what can you do today? Like,
Hmm.
maybe tomorrow, like, maybe yesterday wasn't the best day, but today could be the best day, and tomorrow can be the best day. But it's about the present, right? And so many of us live in the past or in the future that we don't get to enjoy the present.
Yeah, Angela says only time to look back is to see how far you've come. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And so yeah, it just that there's so much like with frameworks and quotes, right? I use quotes and turn them into frameworks because that right there, like what Angela just shared, the only time to look back is to see how far you've come. Like that is a framework, right? You can use that as an emotional anchor to move the needle forward for yourself whenever you're going through any troubles, challenges, struggles, etc. Right? You're going through a hard time, you're in the dark, right? Guess what? Like those are the times that you can reflect, right? And see how far you've actually come. Because I guarantee that no matter what you've been through in life, like you're here for a reason. right? You're here for a reason, and all the struggles and trials and things that you've gone through, right? Like you, if you didn't have a certain desire and certain ambition and a vision, a bigger vision for yourself, then maybe you wouldn't have gone through those struggles. But because you did, it's all part of your journey, right? It's all part of that path that you took. And so being able to look back on all those experiences is the beauty of life, right? Or is one of those the beauties of life. Uh, Angela says, I love quotes. Quiet Seminar by Jim Rohn taught me this. It works. Yes. Jim Rohn, Best Life Ever. Watch that every single year. Best Life Ever by Jim Rohn. Um, I have belief in yourself and thrive with passion in is my office. Program your mind daily. Exactly. Yeah, 100 you have to, you know. Dang, I was gonna say one more thing, but I forgot. Forgot what it was.
You'll remember it.
Yeah, it's it was something with what Andrea said, but it's okay. It'll come back. So let me share my screen real quick because I just wanna read. I want you guys to see this and then read it. Can everyone see this? So this right here is my favorite blog post. At least this is one of them. Actually, this is my only the only blog post that I can remember basically.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you've ever.
I don't really go on blogs anymore. But he says, "Do you want to get rich or just watch?" Okay, this was posted November 5th, 2013, but it was originally published in 2005. Okay? Can you read this one?
You want me to read it?
No, this one right here. Angela says this.
Rich bitch energy, program your mind daily.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, this is a Blair
Ken
Warren.
didn't want to say the B word.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna just read the blog post and then I'm gonna stop sharing. But he says, "Do you want to get rich or just watch?" I once had lunch with a young man who said he'd spent over $100,000 with a success guru, and it was the best investment he's ever made. I nearly choked when he said this, but given his extraordinary success, I wasn't about to question his judgment. Not knowing quite how to respond, I said, I guess you wouldn't hesitate to recommend him to others. To my surprise, he instantly and emphatically said he would not. How could this be? He just said that this was the best investment he'd ever made. Yet now he's saying he wouldn't recommend others make the same investment. He went on to explain, the ideas I learned from this man changed my life because I actually put them to use. Virtually everyone else who learned the same things I did failed to implement a single idea they'd learned. The truth is, they weren't there to learn. They were there to be entertained. And if this is all you're looking for, there's a lot cheaper entertainment to be had. Go rent a video, go buy a book, or just sit and watch television. You'll get just as much out of it for a lot less money. That's why I don't recommend others do what I did. So few people really want to get rich. Most would rather just watch. Okay? That right there is the truth, in my opinion. It's because, you know, when it comes to you learning things, all right, it's really about application.
Yeah.
If you're gonna pay, like I did the math on how much simulated, how much I would have made if I was charging 1 hour for my time in Fire Hour Season 1. Okay? If I charged every single hour that I did for Fire Hour Season 1, that would be over $100,000 per call. Over $100,000 for that 1 hour, right? Because of the results that was produced from Fire Hour Season 1. I did the math. And here's the beauty of this is that this platform that we provided is free, right? We're doing this complimentary. It's free. And when I stepped into Crystal's life, right, and Fire Hour was born, you know, it was not compensated. It was free. But here's the thing that I want everyone to notice is that like Angela, for example, right? Those who were there, Fire Hour Season 1, was being the student, was applying the knowledge, was taking the actions. That right there is reminders to me saying, do you want to get rich or just watch? There was many people that was just watching.
Yeah.
There was many people that was just wondering, There's even partners that they had that were like just talking crap, right? But guess what? The ones who truly wanted it, they actually applied what they learned. And that's why the life that they have now is completely different.
Yeah.
It's because they actually applied themselves, right? And with Fire Hour, like I just want to make a point. Like we do this for free, right? It's free value, but what are you doing with it? Are you applying the knowledge? Are you taking the action? Are you getting the nuggets, the gold, the value, right? Because it's free, right? Imagine if we charged for Fire Hour but not just this Fire Hour, like for Fire Hour, like season 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? It goes back to like what Jackie was saying. Like Thrive is free. What are you doing with it? Right? Some people would pay for coaching, for business coaching. Some people would pay for Fire Hour coaching. Some people would pay for Thrive. But because it's free, and I believe that more things in the future are going to be free like this, like how do you define and discern what is valuable to you? How do you see what is actually worth your energy and your time so that way you can translate it into action? How do you know that? That's a skill in itself. And the only way that you can truly know if it's valuable or not is if you've experienced it and as if you put that learning curve to the test. If you actually put the notes that you're taking, the knowledge that you're receiving, the value that you're getting, if you actually put it to the test in real life to take action on it, that's the only way you'll attain wisdom is through experience, through your experience. So when it comes to like this blog post, like to me, it's a reminder. It's a reminder to myself that every single time I learn something new and that I experience something different, it's all data for me to see, am I gonna actually apply this in my life or am I just gonna watch? Am I just gonna entertain myself with all the videos and resources and data and knowledge transfers and discussions and masterminds and coaching that I get? Am I going to just allow that to go into me and then go out without any action taken? For me, I say no, it's not because I'm an action taker, because I actually get things done, because I'm actually understanding and aware of this framework. Do you want to get rich or just watch? Do you actually want to achieve your goals and dreams or just watch? Do you want to be entertained on Fire Hour or just take action on it? What do you want to do? And this is for you, right? Because everything rises and falls in leadership. Everyone here is a leader of their own ship, of your own life. So guess what? All the resources that you see, all the people that you meet, everything that is available to you, do you want to get rich or do you want to just watch? Are you here to actually learn and to take action and to change your life, to change the future trajectory of your life, to actually live your dreams? Or do you want to just watch? Like, what is it for you? Right? And again, like this is a framework. Fire Hour, this is for leadership development. This right here is for those who want change. Like I said before, I'm passionate about human transformation. I'm passionate about life change. So there's a quote, all right? If it's to be, it's up to me. All the tools and resources are there for you, but are you just watching or are you taking action on it? How can you contribute to the greater good in the world? It's by being better for yourself. It's by changing who you are and getting better and improving, becoming the best version of yourself, right? And then from there being that influence that creates that ripple to positively impact the world, because that's what you can do. That's what everyone here is capable of doing. I truly believe that. Angela says, this business model is so smart. Flip your credits, leverage to build your business, use it to get people on Thrive. The overhead is like nothing. And it's crazy how much you can make without putting a lot of money out. All you really need is your time. Invest your time. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like when I first saw this business opportunity, like I have a business background. I had 4 businesses at the time and just bought my second house. Like I was already a net worth of $1 million, right? And when I saw this business model coming from business with a business background in pretty much every department of a business, right? Because when you're a business owner, you don't get to just necessarily work on one department. Like you are in everything at all times, because if something goes wrong, you're not going to point the finger at someone. It's going to be on you to fix it, right? And so when I saw this business model, I was like, wow. So if I didn't want to put any money in it, because most of the businesses I've done, I've had to put money. I put $250,000, I put 50, $60,000, I put $2,000 to $5,000. Like I've spent over $1 million on businesses, on acquiring businesses for over the last 10, 12 years of my life, right? And real estate as well, residential and commercial. So everything that I've ever built, I've had to put money in to get money out. I've never seen a business like this where you can literally come in with nothing. Like if someone was like, I want to make money and I don't have money, I'd be like, do you have two people that you know that want to like look better and feel better and have more energy and have more confidence? If yes, get them on Thrive, right? And then wait until the next month when your credits drop, and then use those credits to either build your business again or take some of it to purchase products for yourself so you can see and feel what it's like, right? Like there has not been another business model out there where you can literally get your products for free, work the business for free, and still the upside is so big. Like, we can't make financial claims on here, but I haven't the amount of money you put in versus what you get out. Like I guarantee, like if you really wanted this that bad, you could do it, right? And you would have spent less than me. I spent $1 million in the last 10 to 12 years buying businesses and doing startups and buying real estate. Like it, but this business, it's free, right? But sometimes when things are free, people don't put a value on it because they don't have no skin in the game, right? You have to allow people to put skin in the game. And if they don't put skin in the game, sometimes they don't see the value of what's happening, right? Or of what they're really getting back. But I'm telling you guys, based on experience and what I've spent in my lifetime, there's no other business where you can put $0 in it and then still crush it as if you spent $1 million on all these businesses, right? So take advantage of this opportunity. Take advantage of all the trainings that you receive from all the different leaders who have different perspectives and have strengths in different places, right? Take advantage of him while he's still doing this. We also record these, right? These are all recorded. They're posted for free on YouTube. Take advantage of everything you have here, right? Like, what is it that you really want? Because when I was 5 years old, I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And I wasn't the smartest. I didn't come from the best family. My family was poor. We lost our house. I was on free insurance, free lunches, free clothes. Like you can have nothing and turn it into something. But what do you want? Do you really want it? Or are you just here to be entertained, like the blog that you just read? Are you just here to be entertained and to watch people and then hate on them? Or are you here to actually crush it and give yourself a chance, right? Like you might not ever get this chance again. Like if you drop out now, then what, right? Like how many times have you started something and dropped out on it? How many times have you started something and not succeed in it?
Yeah.
Sorry to say this, but it's you, right? And you will take you everywhere you go in every single business. And this is coming from someone that has spent $1 million on multiple businesses, acquiring multiple businesses, and working my ass off since I was 16. Okay. So if you don't hit your goal, it's you. It's not your team. It's not him. It's not her. It's not this. It's not that. It's not the economy. It's you. It's your mindset and your poor mindset. And I can say this because there are times when I don't hit a goal and I go into self-sabotage and I start the negative mindset and I'm like, no, it's me. It's me. It's me. What am I not doing? Forget about him, forget about her, forget about this, forget about that. What am I doing and what do I need to do? Because when you start taking that accountability for yourself, I guarantee you, your entire life, the trajectory of everything and anything, your blood, sweat, tears, everything you've ever put into anything and everything, and all the people and all the businesses and all the things, is going to have a new perspective. You're going to have a new mindset shift, right? And you're blaming yourself in a loving way. Like I have the power to do this, because when you blame other people and other things, you are taking away your own power. You need to take your power back. It's on you. It's on you. You have resources. You have free resources. You have people like us, like Ange, like Jackie, like Twin, like everyone here that's been a part of this business for so long and that's been doing life and doing other things out there in the world. And we're like, how can we serve? How can we help you? How can we support you in your goal, right? But it's up to you to take action and it's up to you to be accountable for your BOD, your EOD, your DMO, your IPAs. What did you do? What did you not do, right? And being honest with yourself. Did I do that today? No, but it's okay. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And then actually do it tomorrow, right? And go to someone and just be like, I want to hold myself accountable. This is my goal in life. And then someone's going to tell you, okay, well, these are the things that you need to do. Now go, right? But it's on you to take what they gave to you and to do it. Because if you never put it into action, like you will never get further. You're just here to be uplifted and to feel good, but you're not going to feel good not taking it into action and moving along, right? And your results will show you what you've been doing wrong or where you haven't been taking blame. And typically it's yourself, right? So that was just a little rant. Just a little rant, just a little another side of me. There's a very, very sweet, loving, soft talking side, but then there's also like a fire in me that's like, I want to see people winning, right? And this is why you're not winning, is because a poor mindset of blaming everyone, negativity. No, it's your fucking fault. I'm sorry. It's your fault, right? Like if you didn't get from point A to point B, that's on you, right? You didn't ask questions, but don't be an asshole and ask questions and not take it into action, right? And if you're lost and you need help, just say, I'm lost. I need help. I still don't get it. Like help me, right?
Mhm.
And if you're a leader, step in there and be like, where are you confused? Like, how can I help you? What part? Let's do it together, step by step, walk, right? And like, that's how I train people.
Mhm.
I was not like the nicest person. I trained the shit out of people, right? But when they went to other companies, they were like, I never realized how you trained me because I went into a new company somewhere else. I could see outside, right?
Mhm.
And I was getting paid better than people that were 20, 30 years my experience. So then, of course, like my training is very rough, right? Like I'm very like tough love because I care, right?
Mhm.
And I have that fire in me, right? Because I care so much. Otherwise, I'd be like, I don't care. Like that's not my problem. I don't care. I'm not gonna waste my breath, right? And they were getting paid better than people that had been experienced for 20 to 30 years. Why? Because I made sure they won, right? I made sure they understood every little part. And when they didn't
Mhm.
understand something, I put that on myself. How can I teach better? How can I do better? Where are they blocked? Where are they confused? How can I get them there? And I wouldn't let go. Like my foot was on the gas and I would not let go. And they would turn around and be like, you were very tough on me, but thank you. Because now I see being out there, I see the opportunities that I have because you were so tough on me.
Yeah.
So, you just got to do it. You got to do it. Like, you got to take accountability. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you really want? And do you really want that? But also, don't beat yourself up when you're lost, when you're confused, when you're trying to take action, when you're not taking
Mhm.
action. Don't do that because that is the very opposite, right? Like, you need to be like, I love myself. It's okay. Tomorrow it'll get better. And every day, like what Shen was saying, the atomic habits, right? 1% better every single day, right? 1% better every single day. It's okay. Just 1%,
Oh,
1 minute, 1 hour of extra action the next day or for the entire week. But you just have to keep moving forward.
that's right. Without beating yourself up.
Yes.
You can move in your goals towards your goals without beating yourself up, right? That's part of leadership development is to catch yourself and be self-aware when you are going down that negative spiral, right? Stop yourself, bring yourself to the present moment, reflect if you need to, sit with yourself, get still, and then from there proceed forward, right? Do this thing, like do it with grace.
Yes.
That's really important, okay? Super important. But that
Have
was
that
fire.
fire. Have that fire in you, but also with grace. Like, love yourself. Like, hey, you know what? I didn't do what I was supposed to do today, but I know what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to do it tomorrow. And I'm going to do it at this time tomorrow. Right. Um, but yeah,
Fire.
that was just a little, sometimes I'm very reserved and quiet and,
That was perfect. That was perfect. That was a great way to end this episode. But yeah, use this, okay? Because the episode's gonna end right now. So use this energy. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it today? What are you gonna do with it tomorrow? What are you gonna do with it? How are you? This is 90-day run energy. You know what I mean? Like 90-day run energy right here. So what are you gonna do with it? Use it. Okay, use it. Don't let this energy go to waste. Okay, energy is always just transferred. So guess what? It was just transferred right now. So use it. All right. Yeah, Angela says I'm gonna go change some lives.
Yes, let's go out there and change some more lives. Thousands and thousands still left untouched, right? Like
100%.
everyone wants thrive. They don't know it yet, but it's up to you to let them know that they want it.
Exactly. Twin says, talk about this call in your stories. Talk about this call on your social media. That's your call to action. Fresh. That's fire. So that, like this, if people on your team or someone who is just looking at Thrive or whatever it may be, like, or, they just want to get better in their life, like someone that needs that accountability, right? Send them this call, send them this episode. Like, use these resources and tools as third-party tools for yourself to improve other people's lives, right? It's not about us, it's about them. If we can touch, inspire, and motivate and improve someone else's life through just data, knowledge transfer, etc., why not? It's free. Now, the question is, are they going to just watch? Or are they actually going to take some action? Right? It's up to them. They're the leaders of their own ship. All you can do is provide the tools. That's it. That's what we're doing. We're providing the tools, the data, the knowledge. We're just providing our experience, cutting the learning curve. What are you going to do with it? Right? What are you going to do with it? So today, this may have been a wake-up call for some. This may have just been the fuel in the fire for others. But whatever that is for you, whatever this was for you, transfer this energy and pour it into your dreams. Transfer this energy and pour it into yourself. Transfer this energy and pour it onto the vision that you have for yourself, for your life. You can create the best life ever because tomorrow is never promised. So do it today. Today is what you have. Today is all that matters. The present moment today is what is important, right? So do it. You got this 100%. Connect with them. There's so many amazing comments, and I love all the fire emojis. But use this energy, okay? We're gonna end the call. So have an amazing day. Crush it. Dominate your path. Like, that was fire. So I'm gonna do some damage with that on social media. All right. Because other people need to hear it, right? There's people who need to hear it. There's important people out there. You are all important. Some people that you're going to connect, they're going to look back on this call a year from now, and they're going to be like, this was the call that changed my life, right? Guess what? Why not? That's positively impacting the greater good for everyone, because it's about leadership development and working on the best project you'll ever work on, which is you. Okay? It's all about you.
Yeah.
Fire Hour is for you and you alone. It's not for us. We benefit from it because we're working on ourselves when we're talking about this. This was a reminder to us, right? And this was a new introduction to her. She's never seen this before. So guess what? Like, this is every single tool that's available. It's a free resource. It's complimentary. It's available. Use it, right? Sift through for the gold. Grab that gold, that value, apply it to your life, see what you can do with it, and then report back to yourself. See what happens. Use your life experience as just stepping stones for those milestones for your accomplishments. You can do it. Whatever you imagine, whatever you believe in, whatever you see happening, the step-by-steps towards your goals, your dreams, your vision, it's all mattering and happening if you take action on it, okay? You will will it into your existence because I believe that. I 100% believe that. But do you? All right? Do you? And if you don't, just take the actions and see how much you believe in it after, okay? So, yeah, have fun. Have an amazing day. Enjoy this journey, okay? Enjoy your journey. But use this energy, and we will see you on the next episode, all right? Have an amazing day. Love you all.
Love you guys so much. Don't be mad.
I'll end the episode with, there's a quote, all right? I'd rather have you hate me and succeed than love me and fail. Okay?
That's me.
I'd rather have you hate me and succeed and love me and fail. But hopefully it's both. But yeah. All right. So enjoy. All right. Have an amazing day. Let's get it. We'll see you on the next one. Okay. Peace out.
Love you guys. Have fun for those that are going.
Enjoy.